Welcome back to Good Germs Off-Road Adventures and welcome back to the shop. Now, normally, and I say normally because we've done it one time, we would see Frank and Tommy, arguing over tools and which is better, newer electric things and older air tool type things. But look, it's hotter than a hound dog in a hubcap factory. I mean, right there, if you can see that thermometer is telling you it's over 105 degrees, and that's inside the shop. We've got some pretty large fans, blowing the hot air around, so at least it feels like 105 instead of 110. But listen, Frank, he's so old, this heat, it's probably going to kill him. And well, Tommy, he's that generation, that just can't tolerate anything that's difficult. So neither one of them want to be in here for this. So we're just going to have to just kind of do it without them. So what we're going to look at today is we're going to look at this. This is, and hold on, it has another long name. I have to probably read it. This is the 20 volt brushless cordless 3/8 inch compact 3-speed impact wrench tool only. And it's Hercules because it says so right there. Okay, had to read that off the phone. Let's put that over there.
I apologize for interrupting myself, but I'm afraid I must provide the following disclaimer. This video is not sponsored by Harbor Freight Tools, nor did Harbor Freight Tools supply any of the tools for this review. All tools reviewed in this review were purchased using my own money. However, if Harbor Freight Tools wishes to send me some goodies to review, I will not turn them down. Now, back to myself.
All right, so 20 volts, 3/8. So we're going to compare this not to anything comparable. We're going to compare it yet again to another comparable air tool. And what it is this time is it is a Cobalt 3/8 impact, and this says 350 max feet-pounds. So this is what we're going to compare it to. We've been using both of these quite a bit, but this Cobalt we've used quite a lot in the few years we've had it. So why would we compare this to this? Why not compare this to a DeWalt or a Milwaukee? Listen, I mentioned this before. I can't afford to be buying all the famous name brands just to compare it, to a Hercules. I'm a home shop. I have to buy the tools myself. So I have to be thinking budget minded, and that's what I hope to do for y'all. So we don't care as much about the numbers. I mean, the numbers are important, but we don't care as much about it. What we care about is in our home shop setting, is this a good tool? Is it a good value? So that's why we compare it to this. A lot of people have a lot of the air tools, or maybe they don't have any, and they're trying to decide which one they want. I like the air tools. I like the sound they make. Most importantly, that's a great sound. I love that sound. Love the sound. Now that we have a quiet air compressor, I don't mind that anymore either. But I've always loved the air tools. But to Tommy's point, it's kind of a pain worrying about dragging that air hose everywhere you go and tripping over it like, Frank claims he doesn't do, but we've seen him do it, right? He trips over things. He's old. So what we're going to do, we're just going to compare these two to each other, We already know what the maximum is on this. So we can talk about some features. So it has, a forward and a reverse, a weird switch there. Doesn't feel like the highest quality, but the tool itself is nice. And then it has your dial selector for how much Ooga Dooga, and it is not an easy dial to turn, but it's got 4 settings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 being the lowest and 4 being the highest, or we'll call it severely injure, not kill, because these little 3/8 impacts don't really have a kill mode, but we'll call it severely injure mode. The quality of the switch is not so great, but I want to say this thing was only like $60 at Lowe's. I know I know Harbor Freight makes one comparable to this, but there was a reason why I didn't buy it, and honestly, right now, couldn't tell you what that was. The Hercules. Okay, so you've got your normal forward and reverse selector switch. You've got your normal little LED light. That's nice. Trigger, sure. And then you've got your 3 modes here. 1, 2, and 3, or, low, medium, and again, severely injure, but not kill mode. This is the 20 volt, so it takes the 20 volt battery. For our test, we're going to use just the 2.5 amp hour battery. For this tool, for what we use it around the shop for, it should be plenty perfect. But, enough looking at them. Let's go check out the website and see what it says about these things. All right, so let's check it out. Here we go. Hercules 20 volt brushless cordless 3/8 inch compact 3-speed impact wrench tool only. Oofta, that's a lot of words. Okay, right off the bat, you can see it's $60. And, that's a pretty good value for something like this. Being brushless and being able to do the things that it does. Let's check it out. All right, product overview. Oh, here we go. Many more words. The Hercules 20 volt brushless cordless 3/8 inch compact 3-speed impact wrench delivers up to 525 foot-pounds of bolt breakaway torque. So if you remember, this little Cobalt is 350 max foot-pounds, which is good, but look, this says 525 foot-pounds. Well, in modern math, that should be more. Anyway, this tool is equipped with a 3-speed selector that operates at up to 1,000, 1,700, or 2,200 RPM to power off the nuts and bolts and quickly and accurately. How accurate can you power off a bolt? I don't know. I feel like that's a word they just decided to throw in there because it sounded good and they wanted a second word. A built-in LED light provides superior work visibility. Pair up with the Hercules 5 amp hour battery pack. Look, I don't think you need the 5 amp hour. This thing, I've been running this thing for at least a year now on the 2.5 amp hour battery packs, and it's plenty. Anyway, gives you more uses. Well, of course it does. It's a bigger battery. Okay. And then this is bullets that say the exact same thing as that. Okay, let's see what else it says. Product highlights, brushless motor. Yep. 520 foot-pounds of max breakaway torques. Yep. 3-speed selector and a bright LED. Okay. Product features. Maybe I should look at this instead of reading, all the things, because this is prettier. Anyway, all Metal Gear construction for extra durability for tough jobs. Brushless motor. We know about that. Ergonomically designed handle with overmold grip for long-lasting comfort. I will say this is a comfortable tool to use. It fits my, giant gorilla hands quite nice. 3-speed selector, variable speed trigger, bright LED, friction ring anvil for quick and easy socket changes. And yep, check. Compact design. It is small and it is, it is mighty for its size. Size comparison. Let me show you how this compares, to the big Ultra Torque. Here's our 3/8 impact here, and here's the Ultra Torque. You can see the size difference. Okay. All right. What else can we learn from the website? Additional specs, RPMs, yep. 2,400 max impacts per minute, 2.6 pounds. It is very light, which is why I say, if you can use the little 2.5 amp hour battery, it just makes for a really nice tool to use. If you need the 5 amp hour, sure, but again, it's pretty nice. Belt clip, sure, 3/8 square drive, yep. What else? There's all your batteries and accessories, guides, manuals, warranty. And back to warranty, it is one of the new brushless, so you do get the 5-year limited warranty, which is also quite nice. And then, of course, is there reviews? I don't know. We'll upload this as a review and we'll give it some stars. There we go, reviews. Looks like it's averaging about 4.5 stars. 92% of customers would recommend it. Look, I'll recommend it. I like it very much. But don't take my word for it. Let's go see how it really works. So similar to how we tested, the Ultra Torx Hercules, we're going to do the same thing. Now, on the quad, we're not going to rotate the tires, but we're going to use it as an example. And we're going to start with, the Cobalt 350. And we're going to do that on the front. And then we're going to use the Hercules Brushless 3/8 jobber, on the back. Okay. So on the back of the Cobalt jobber, you've got 4 different settings for your speed or power, and you've got a forward and a reverse. So naturally, we're going to put it on reverse and put it on, severely injure mode. Yep. Look, this thing, it just has no troubles getting off the lug nuts here. So as promised, on the back, we're using the Hercules jobber, and we're going to set it also to severely injure mode, because again, I don't think this has an actual kill mode. And we fitted it with our, 9/16 impact socket because, well, that's the size of the lug nut on this here machine. Anyway, we're just going to go ahead and bang these off and see how this little guy does. Nice. Pretty good. Yep. Okay. Very good. Now you can see we also have this fitted with the 2.5 amp hour battery, which for this unit, for this kind of work, is probably plenty. You can put the bigger battery on it, but I just don't think it's needed. And I don't know how I got so lucky, but this battery is blue. I've never seen another blue one, but, I saw the blue one hanging on the shelf and said, yes, I have to have the blue one. And, the uses are not just limited to these. I mean, an impact of this size is great for some of the suspension bolts that we've got on here, Make short work of those. Let's put that back. And there we go. It's perfect for these kind of things. Shock bolts, frame bolts. This pretty much does it all for these, working on a quad. It's perfect. Well, let's go ahead and, run these lug nuts back on with these tools. So we'll start back up front with the front wheel. I know I've said this before, but get your thread started by hand here. And on the back of our Cobalt Ooga Dooga, we're going to put it on forward mode. We're going to take it off number 4, slot it down to number 3, and we're not going to drive them home. We're just going to get them nice and tight because we're going to want to go back and torque these properly. Torque on these is 27 to 30 feet-pounds, so we'll just go ahead and do that after we're done. It would help if I had a socket on here. There we go. Now we've got a socket. I always like to start on the bottom. I don't know why. And there we go. Now we can just go back and torque on it. In case you can't hear it, that air compressor kicked on again. I love that quiet air compressor. Anyway. All right, so now that we've got this back, let's put this on number 2 mode, and let's punch these in. And there we go. Once again, we're going to go back and torque these back down to the 27 to 30 psi like we're supposed to. Let me tell you, in the short time since we started filming this video, it's already up over 106 degrees. It's just getting hotter. So it's important. Hydrate yourselves, you know. Don't let yourself turn into Frank where you're afraid to go anywhere just because it's hot outside. Anyway. You know, when I first showed this little thing to Frank, he didn't like it. Like he didn't like the Ultra Torque thing, but he really didn't like this. He just did not see the purpose, and he really didn't see the purpose of this either. But you know, he poked his head in when we were testing him out, and he played with them a little bit, and then told me that this was quite nice. But he still likes the air tool thing, and I think it's just because he likes the noise better. Tommy, of course, he didn't even want to try the air tool when it came to this. He just went straight for this, did one nut, went back inside to the air conditioning because, well, it's Tommy. What do you expect? So now you've seen both of these in action. Look, they're very comparable. I really like the Hercules. Ever since I bought it, I've actually never used this again. It's not like the air tools where I still use it with like the bigger impacts, but I haven't actually used this Cobalt since I've introduced this to the shop. It works very nice. I like that you don't have the air hose for something like a quad. You can just zip around it and do everything you need to do. But that's just my opinion there. If anybody else out there is, used any DeWalt or Milwaukee or any other brand that's comparable to this in a 3/8 size, I'd be curious to know how those work out. But I just, for $60, I just can't imagine finding a better deal. And of course, yeah, you got to buy the battery. But the same battery on this works on the Ultra Torque, works on many other tools. With this, of course, you have to have the air compressor and the hose, but you're limited at where you can go. So pros and cons. Batteries do go flat over time. It's hard to take an air compressor when you're running around. So just up to you and your usages. Is that the right word? Usages? No. Usage is the right word. It's up to you and how you use it. That's better. But anyway, I think that's going to do it. If you wouldn't mind, do the whole like. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and do the like. Shit. If you wouldn't mind, please go ahead and do the like, comment, subscribe, share. All those things really help the channel. And I know it sounds like a broken record, but we're trying to build it up, and we can only do it with your help. In the meantime, as always, ride safe, and we'll see you later.